was pointed on the exchanges, and the reason is MCX was clearly the newsmaker of the week, right?
Yeah.
We've seen a big move in MCX
Yeah.
on the back of the transition to the new platform. So I thought, let me just go to the wall and explain what the exchanges have done this year and why, while MCX was the newsmaker of the week, but the bigger mover has come to the surprise on the Bombay Stock Exchange. Within the exchange stocks, the first big mover was BSE. Just look at the BSE stock move. This month, the stock is up 45%. And in the last 6 months, the stock is nearly doubled. It's up 200% in the last 6 months itself. That is BSE. Now, what has worked for BSE in the last few months? The biggest takeaway is that the equity derivatives growth that has really picked up after they launched the options in March or May. And since then, the option turnover growth has been 86% week on week for BSE. And that's been a big trigger as to why the stock has really done well. So what are the triggers going ahead? What are the things to watch out for? The next big thing to watch will be the launch of the BankX future from mid of October. They're going to launch on October 16th is what I understand. And so that's one trigger to watch out for. Need to see how the momentum continues in the derivative segment for BSE, which is they're a new player there. The new businesses can add to the future growth and the tariff increase, because that's something which will add to the PBT as well for BSE going forward. Remember, BSE only charges 500 rupees per crore versus 3,000 rupees that NSE charges. A word on the valuations though, BSE is now trading at almost 43 times on an FY24 price to earnings. So it's not cheap stock now, but the momentum is what is helping BSE to do well, and that was the biggest outperformer within the exchange names. Now look at just look at the brokerage calls. IFL has an ad rating with a target price of 1530 on BSE, and HDFC has recently put out a note. They also have a buy rating with a target price of 1230. So that's BSE in terms of what brokerages are saying. Now coming to the newsmaker of this week, which is MCX. That stock is up nearly 25%. In fact, this week itself, it's up more than 20%. And in the last 6 months, the stock has rallied nearly 40%. Now, the biggest reason for the MCX, or the big overhang for the stock, was the transition to the new platform, which is the TCS platform. And remember, they had extended almost for a year now. And now finally, it looks like they're going to shift to the new platform on October 3rd. I guess there could be some further delays, but eventually it looks like that's a done deal now, and they will shift to the new platform. So that's a big trigger what MCX is watching out for. Going forward, the big triggers would be the option volume and the premium growth and the tech transition, because tech transition would mean that they will be making money going forward. So December could be the last worst quarter, and after that you can see a bit jump in terms of the EBITDA margins as well for MCX going forward. So in terms of valuations, currently it's trading at close to 23 times on an FY25 price to earnings. So that's the valuation picture for MCX. In terms of brokerages, recently there was an HDFC Securities note. They have a buy rating and there was a target price there to 2400. So people are turning bullish on MCX as well. The last of that lot is IEX, and that is an underperformer within that pack. And there is a reason for that. This year, the stock is on 5%. Even in the last 1 year, the stock is on 5.5%. So it's a massive underperformer compared to the other names. Now, why IEX has underperformed? One, the competition has increased massively with the introduction of the 2 new exchanges. And the second thing is the introduction of the market coupling, which would meaningfully mean that the volumes can go to the other exchanges, and that's been a big drag for IEX, and that can continue as well, is what most of the brokerages are saying. In fact, if you look at the brokerage call, I think there was a Nomura note, and they have a reduced rating with a target price of 127. So that's what it is. And most of the brokerages are negative on IEX. So that's the call on the 3 exchanges. The biggest mover was BSE, up 200%, but the newsmaker is MCX, and that's something which investors are going to focus on in the weeks to come.
All right, Nimesh, thanks.